Tonight on CTV News, the Coquihalla Highway reopens.
I have a small window. I don't know what will happen. I'm just going to go rush there.
Drivers can now get through, but with flames raging on both sides of the highway, the situation is still volatile. And shots fired at another Surrey home. Extortion, the possible motivation. Now questions about a deliberately set fire in Port Moody. New video sent to CTV.
When I was in the hospital after what happened, definitely that's when I started scribbling in a notebook.
Calls for change. An attack survivor is pushing Ottawa to crack down on domestic violence survivors in honor of her friend Bailey McCourt.
This is CTV News with Mi Jung Lee.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news. Police are on the scene of what appears to be a stabbing. While they were investigating that crime, they were called to another location in East Vancouver, just 2 blocks away. Lauren Pullen is following this in the Breaking News Center. Lauren, what do we know?
Mi Jung, we are still waiting for details from police, but they do tell us they will have some information to share with us shortly. What we do know is that officers have responded to 2 incidents just blocks away from each other. Let's begin on Vanessa Avenue, where an apartment building is taped off by police. There were 6 police cruisers outside of the building and the entranceway was blocked. There was 1 ambulance at that scene, and we are waiting, of course, again to confirm details on what happened and if there is a risk to public safety. A short time later, just blocks away on Joyce Street, police blocked off a portion of the sidewalk near a business with apartments above it. We witnessed paramedics taking 1 patient away from that scene, and Vancouver police were seen in the apartment above that storefront as well. Now, we do have a crew that is on scene, Mi Jung, who will update us with the latest information just as soon as it's available. Meech.
Thanks for this, Lauren. A key route to and from the Lower Mainland is back open tonight. The Coquihalla had been closed for 2 days after a wind-fueled wildfire jumped the highway's 4 lanes on Wednesday. CTV's Dimitra Maragos is live in Hope. Plenty of uncertainty this week for drivers, Deb.
Yeah, Mi Jung, that's right. With the Coquihalla closed, as you mentioned, that's a key route, and other highways backed up. When people got the notification that it was back open, they were eagerly awaiting for the barricades to come up. Just before noon on Friday, cars were lining up to wait for the opening of the Coquihalla. Once the barricades were moved, they were off. Irfan Sanawala says he tried to head to Merritt on Thursday.
So I took the highway one, and there was all of a sudden it stopped.
With the Coquihalla closed, he turned back, hoping for a better outcome today.
I'm so happy it is open now.
He says he's seizing the opportunity.
I have a small window. I don't know what will happen. I'm just going to go rush there and take a Coquihalla.
You okay, girls?
Dennis Ryan is traveling from Westwald with his horses. He says because of the closures, he was stuck in traffic for hours.
It's frustrating, but everybody's in the same boat.
But says safety always comes first.
They want to close the highway for safety. That's what they should do. I mean, it keeps the people safe.
But despite being open, conditions are challenging. Here's what one driver saw. There's limited visibility, exits on the highway are closed, and there's no stopping between Hope and Merritt. As for the Mine Creek fire,
we are expecting this fire to grow.
The Wildfire Service says the fire remains out of control. Terrain has made access difficult and visibility has also posed some challenges. She says aside from controlling the fire,
right now the focus really is on that infrastructure protection.
However, Ryan says he commends those on the ground doing the hard work.
I wouldn't want to be responsible for putting these fires out, so my hat's off to the people that do it.
Now, again, this fire is still very much active, and evacuation orders are in place for Coquihalla Lakes. Now, we asked officials what the cause of this fire said. They said the suspected cause was lightning. Mi Jung?
Dimitra Maragos reporting live tonight from Hope. Thank you, Dimitra. This is the fiery wreckage of a head-on crash involving a semi and pickup truck that shut down Highway 1 for hours today. BC Highway Patrol says it happened around 6 a.m. just south of the town of Yale. The driver of the pickup was taken to hospital with serious injuries while the other was unharmed. A single lane of the highway reopened around 1 p.m. and drivers are being told to expect delays. A large number of evacuation orders have been issued by the Cariboo Regional District, where 2 wildfires are burning out of control. Orders have been issued for 309 properties due to the Beef Trail Creek wildfire burning north of Bella Coola. Another 505 properties around the Dusty Lake wildfire are also under evacuation orders. There are now 143 wildfires burning across BC, with 53 listed as out of control. That includes 5 new fires discovered today, 3 of which are in the Southeast Fire Center. Backlash to a landmark court decision granting Aboriginal title to private land in Richmond continues tonight. The Musqueam Indian Band has now announced it has filed a notice to appeal.
We have our ancestors that gave our oral history and the truthful owners of that property, so that's what we're appealing in the courts today.
The Musqueam says the decision gives the Cowichan tribe's Aboriginal fishing rights to the south arm of the Fraser, which is their traditional territory. This comes one day after the city of Richmond also filed an appeal. The decision has triggered a wave of concern that all private property rights in BC could be impacted by the precedent. Once again, police in Surrey are investigating what's believed to be an extortion-related shooting. Shots were fired in an upscale residential neighborhood in South Surrey overnight. A suspected arson in Port Moody earlier this week is also being investigated as a possible extortion attack. CTV's Martin McMahon reports.
It's the latest suspected case of extortion-related violence in Surrey. This time in a quiet residential neighborhood in South Surrey just before 4 in the morning.
We received calls for sound of gunshots in the 14300 block of 28th Avenue. Members arrived on scene and did locate numerous casings on the roadway on 28th Avenue. No buildings or people were injured or struck in the incident.
By Friday afternoon, there was little indication of any shooting in this quiet neighborhood, apart from patrolling Surrey police cruisers. And while not providing specifics, police believe this is an extortion-related shooting and say they understand the ongoing public concern.
Believe it or not, we're also frustrated, but these things do take time. We're working with our public safety partners. There is a joint forces operation out of E Division that we're in regular contact with, as well as the National Task Force and surrounding jurisdictions, and everybody's working to identify the people responsible.
Word of this shooting comes as Port Moody police share details on this fire early Wednesday morning, which ripped through a barber shop and a mortgage business. Police in that case saying they are not ruling out an extortion link with the suspected arson. A number of news outlets, including CTV News, were sent this video, which appears to show the fire from inside Manny's barbershop before the person shooting the video runs. Police believe there are people in the community with information about these cases and ask anyone who can help with the investigation to come forward. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Surrey.
For the second day in a row, a ferry passenger has gone overboard. BC Ferry says someone went overboard during last evening's 5 o'clock sailing from Swartz Bay to Tsawwassen. Once again, crews aboard the ship are being heralded as heroes for their quick response, as a rescue boat was able to locate the person almost instantly before transferring them to a nearby Coast Guard vessel. This comes after another passenger went overboard along the same route on Wednesday afternoon. BC Ferry says incidents like these are not only distressing for everyone involved, but also exceedingly rare. Prime Minister Mark Carney is forging ahead with a suite of new measures he says will support the Canadian economy in the face of a trade war with the United States. Touring a plant in the Greater Toronto area today, Carney laid out Ottawa's plans to help those impacted by tariffs with a new $5 billion fund and specific help for the canola sector hard hit by Chinese tariffs. He also promised more federal action for the Buy Canadian movement.
The government's introducing a new comprehensive Buy Canadian policy that will move from best efforts to buy Canadian to a clear obligation to do so.
Carney also announced a new climate competitiveness strategy will be coming soon. Carney is also hitting the brakes on electrical vehicle targets. The Fed suspending the mandate that would have required all new passenger vehicles sold in Canada to be zero emission by 2035. The pause is being applauded by the auto industry. And as CTV's Ben Nesbitt reports, there are growing calls for the BC government to do the same.
Mark Carney is pushing pause on his predecessor's policy, saying it's time to give automakers a break.
They've got enough on their plate right now.
Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced the zero-emission vehicle mandate, requiring 20% of new cars sold in 2026 to be zero-emission. The target was to reach 100% by 2035. But Carney says manufacturers are already under strain, pointing to supply chain problems and U.S. tariffs.
We're using this as an opportunity as part of a broader strategy on climate competitiveness to look at all our measures.
It's a great day. It's good news.
Local industry leaders are welcoming the federal decision.
We've been pretty vocal about a number of the issues and what it's going to do on the affordability of all vehicles based on the penalties that are charged as part of this.
The new Car Dealers Association, along with the BC Conservatives, are now calling on the NDP government to do the same with the province's zero-emission sales targets. And that would mean scrapping the 2026 requirement, just like Ottawa. Minister of Energy and Climate Solutions Adrian Dix says they'll review the policy, but highlights that BC's sale numbers remain amongst the best in the country.
I think there should be a Canadian standard, that the provinces that want to have policies that promote electrification, EVs, and all the economic benefits of that for individuals and for people are the same.
The feds will now conduct a 60-day review before deciding what to do next, while Dix says they'll announce BC's plan sometime soon. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, Vancouver.
BC Hydro unveiled a first-of-its-kind field test today that will see electric school buses used as a backup source of power.
This pilot is showing when not transporting students, these buses can help keep the lights on during outages, reduce reliance on diesel generators, and ease pressure on the grid during our peak times.
Vehicle-to-grid technology is used to send electricity from the bus batteries back to the grid. This will help support BC Hydro during peak demand and provide backup power during outages. An electric school bus battery can store up to 200 kilowatt hours of electricity, which is enough to power 75 homes for 2 hours. Some high school students in Surrey are adjusting to a new normal this week, with the district implementing a hybrid learning program. It's a pilot project meant to help prepare students for hybrid work in the future. But as CTV's Yasmin Gandam reports, some experts are concerned about the added screen time.
As students across Surrey return to full-time classroom learning this week, some will be learning online.
During COVID, he was online quite a bit and actually excelled, being able to work on his own, and go at his own pace.
Her grade 10 son has decided to opt in to the hybrid program for his careers course, but Lobley says the experience is not for everyone.
Parents have been asking for more options. There are definitely kids that it's not going to work for, but there are kids, and COVID taught us that can do this.
It's a pilot project implemented by the Surrey School District where students in grade 10 to 12 opt in to a hybrid learning model.
We're really looking at this as the opportunity to provide those opportunities for our kids to learn the new skills and the new competencies.
Surrey has been up against many challenges, overcrowding, hundreds of portables, and a lack of resources. But the district says this won't make a dent, at least not yet.
It's only 1 or 2 classes per school that we're trying this in, so it's really going to have a minimal impact this year when it comes to any of our space challenges. It may in the future, I suppose, if it expands.
This psychiatrist says screen time can be problematic for teenagers, especially when it comes to learning.
It's already hard to focus, especially on academic subjects at time, particularly if there's neurodiversity or attention deficit or some learning problem there. So that could really impact them.
They're going to be in school, in session, in person for the majority of their classes.
Dr. King says it is important for parents to take the responsibility of making sure their teenagers are getting enough time off the screen.
We are losing those micro moments of social connection, and loneliness is on the rise, along with other mental health issues, including social anxiety.
Yasmin Gantam, CTV News, Surrey.
Coquihalla RCMP have released more images of a teen girl who has not been seen since last Friday. 16-year-old Peaches Ashley Jack was last seen leaving a home near Pine Tree Way and David Avenue on Friday, August 29th. She was on her way downtown to attend a concert at Rogers Arena. Anyone who has seen her is asked to contact Coquihalla RCMP. A sad ending for a problem bear on Burnaby Mountain that forced the closure of part of the park. Also ahead.
I was very excited this morning when I got up and saw 643 signatures.
She was assaulted the day her friend was killed. Now she's pushing Ottawa to better protect victims of domestic violence. When CTV News continues, stay with us. A warning, this story may be disturbing to some viewers. A 12-year-old in Alberta has been charged with the attempted murder of his 7-year-old brother. Investigators say the attack happened in the family's home in Lethbridge last week. The boy's father returned home to find his 7-year-old son had been stabbed multiple times. He was rushed to hospital in critical condition and remains there tonight, where he is now stable. Investigators say they obtained evidence that suggested the 12-year-old was the lone suspect. The boy has been charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault and remains in custody awaiting a bail hearing. The woman who survived a hammer attack in a Kelowna parking lot that killed mother of two Bailey McCourt has become a fierce advocate for change to Canada's domestic violence laws. That advocacy took a big step forward yesterday when her petition to the House of Commons went live. As CTV Shannon Patterson reports, hundreds have already signed it.
It's been 2 months since Carrie Wiebe was attacked in a Kelowna parking lot alongside her friend and colleague Bailey McCourt.
Well, the bruises are gone, so that's nice, but there's some brain stuff left over.
McCourt, a mother of two, was killed in the attack. The alleged perpetrator, her estranged husband, who'd been convicted of domestic violence charges earlier that day and wasn't held in custody to await sentencing.
When I was in the hospital after what happened, definitely that's when I started scribbling in a notebook.
We began drafting an e-petition for the House of Commons calling for more protections for victims of domestic violence and more punishment for perpetrators.
Bail reform, GPS tracking between conviction and sentencing, criminal record checks with marriage licenses.
After several drafts, she had a version of the e-petition that was approved by the House.
MPs, MLAs, they are very supportive on both sides, like conservative, liberals, like all of it.
The e-petition went live on Thursday. Wiebe was told if 500 people signed it, the sponsor MP could then present it in the House of Commons.
Well, I'm quite shocked this morning when I got up and saw 643 signatures. I started to cry and hyperventilate. So it's amazing. I'm so grateful.
She knows it's something Bailey McCourt would have wanted.
I think she's rooting me on for sure. I can feel it because I wanted to give up a couple times, but I could hear her. Don't stop, just keep going. Yeah, I think she'd be happy.
For Wiebe, recovery has been slow and difficult.
The last few weeks have been really, really hard. The emotional stuff is like way harder to deal with than the physical.
She's urging Canadians who want to see changes to domestic violence law to go to the House of Commons e-petitions page.
Please sign the petition. It's the only thing keeping me going right now.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
24 British Columbians were put behind bars today, but not for breaking the law.
We need to raise some funds for Metro Vancouver Crime Stoppers, so we've got an array of community leaders here who will be arrested, and they have to raise their bail to get out of the jail cell here.
The jailbirds include Surrey Guildford MLA Gary Begg, Surrey Councillor Mike Bowes, and Science World CEO Tracy Reddy's. Crime Stoppers is hoping to raise $50,000 through their bails, which will help the 40-year-old charity continue helping investigators solve crimes. Caroline's here. I wish we could just lock up all the smoke and haze. Instead, it's spreading everywhere.
If only, right? I mean, we do have some good news. There is a break coming in the forecast. Is it coming tomorrow? Well, not quite yet. So all week I've been talking about the heat warnings and a special air quality statement. Good news, no heat warnings, but we still have special air quality statement. And I'm well aware this board looks ridiculous, but these are all the areas that are affected. I mean, Jung, it would have been easier to just put in the places that weren't affected, but this is where we are now. And here are the current temperatures throughout the lower mainland. Yes, that red on there means it's hot. So it's 24 in Vancouver, 21 in White Rock, 27 in Surrey. As for looking ahead, yes, the smoky skies will continue. It will dissipate ever so slightly beginning tomorrow, and then some relief in the forecast, but another slightly soupy day tomorrow ahead.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
All right, so again, one more day of this soupy weather, and then some relief, finally.
Yeah, at least there is some light at the end of this smoky haze.
There is.
All right, thanks, Caroline. And coming up after the break, more on our top story, 2 crime scenes in East Vancouver. We have heard from Vancouver police. Now we'll have a live update from the scene. Also ahead.
This was a reckless, careless person that didn't care about people's lives.
People affected by 2 different crashes met together in the Ontario legislature. One is Premier Doug Ford, his promise to crack down on dangerous drivers. That's ahead on CTV News. More now on our top story. 2 people are dead and 2 others injured in a double homicide in East Vancouver. Police are at 2 crime scenes within blocks of each other. CTV's Craig Krause joins us live near the Joyce SkyTrain station. Craig, what have you learned?
Well, Jung, you just said it there. This information's coming from the police as we speak, so we can confirm now that 2 people have been confirmed killed, 2 others injured in a suspected double homicide. We do have video from the crime scene earlier on this afternoon. We're going to go to that right now, and as you can see on your screens, that had about 6 cruisers. Later on this afternoon, we actually rushed to another incident that was just a few blocks away, where we also saw a patient being taken away in an ambulance. That was reported by our videographer, Jim Fong. I'm here at the scene right now. We're going to show you around of what we're looking at right now. So this is taped off. This is at the corner of Joyce and Vanessa, and this bubble tea restaurant is taped off by police as we speak right now. This is where we saw one patient being taken away in an ambulance this afternoon. We are waiting for confirmation and details about this incident here in this area, but we can confirm, like we said before, 2 people have been confirmed killed, 2 others injured in a suspected double homicide investigation. Police are telling me that there is no risk to the public at this point. As for suspects, though, that is one thing we are trying to get to the bottom of at this hour. We will have the latest moving forward here. Any connection between these 2? That is another question we are looking to get answered. Jung?
Yeah, a lot of unanswered questions right now. Thank you for this.
Yes.
Craig Krause reporting live tonight near the Joyce SkyTrain station. The people affected by 2 different crashes met together in the Ontario legislature today. One, a grieving family. The other, Ontario's premier. And out of that could be a major change to the laws on the province's roads. CTV's John Woodward has the details.
Andrew Cristillo's brother, best friend, and father, stunned but grateful as they left the Ontario legislature Friday.
Yeah, it feels good for a change.
Here we go. Inside, they met with Ontario's premier to discuss Andrew's law, legal changes the Cristillos are hoping for in the wake of Andrew Cristillo's death on Highway 48 in August. His 3 daughters hospitalized in a crash. The other 18-year-old driver charged with dangerous driving and fleeing the scene.
This was a reckless, careless person that didn't care about people's lives, as he hit me going 230 kilometers.
It was reporting by CTV News that first made that connection. The same driver, Jaywin Kirubenanthan, faced similar charges in a January crash with an SUV carrying Premier Doug Ford.
This was preventable, and now it's time to prevent this from ever happening to any of your families.
Those affected by the 2 crashes in one room, and then flanked by ministers, Ford vowed to implement by the end of the year a law to allow immediate license suspension for those charged with dangerous driving, similar to what happens now with stunt driving and impaired driving.
That I agree 1,000%. There should be immediate suspension.
The Cristillo kids are out of hospital. Their mom has late-stage breast cancer.
She works at the school board as well, and I'm going to make sure that our Minister of Education calls the school board. Support Christina.
In Jordan Cristillo's pocket as he stood next to the Premier, a keepsake the family had made.
He was an avid beer league hockey player and sports card collector.
Andrew's life's accomplishments listed like a hockey card.
Marrying his wife, Christina, their 3 daughters, Leah, Chloe, and Ella, as well as their pets, Bailey and Oreo. He's our most loved player.
If Andrew's law goes through, he can add another accomplishment to that list.
A brazen bear had to be put down after several close encounters with people on Burnaby Mountain. Also ahead.
With that research comes funding, and if we can't fund the research, we're not going to find a solution.
Walking to save lives, a cancer survivor's mission to fund research into a disease that nearly killed her. That's ahead. The BC Conservation Officer Service has confirmed the black bear captured on Burnaby Mountain Park yesterday afternoon was in fact the same one that had some close calls with park goers earlier this week. They say the bear displayed what they called food condition behaviors and was therefore killed to ensure public safety. It's a disease that is often hard to detect until it's too late. A Vancouver Island woman is one of thousands across Canada who are diagnosed with ovarian cancer every year. And this weekend, she will help raise money to fight the disease that almost took her life. CTV's Brendan Strain has more.
Jennifer Smith is preparing for a fundraising walk this weekend, raising money for ovarian cancer research. And for her, it's a cause that hits close to home.
I was diagnosed 21 years ago.
She was told by her medical team that her diagnosis wasn't good.
I was, at the time, given 15% chance of survival, 5-year survival.
Within 2 weeks, she was in surgery undergoing a hysterectomy, followed by an intense chemotherapy regime. Today, Jennifer doesn't take a single day for granted, as she knows she's one of the lucky ones. As every year, an estimated 3,000 women in Canada will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer, a disease that comes with a bleak 5-year survival rate.
That has remained at under 50% for 60 years.
It's a form of cancer that is hard to detect early, as many of the symptoms can present in a familiar way to menopausal women.
Women have to pay attention to their body and really recognize that something has persisted for a long time and it's not normal for them.
Ovarian Cancer Canada says much of its research is now focused on early detection. Funding for that research comes from both the federal and provincial governments, although there are still gaps. Which is why Jennifer and her small fundraising group, calling themselves Pole Walkers for a Cure, have been participating in the Ovarian Cancer Walk for Hope for the past 10 years.
I think our first year, we maybe made $1,600, which was good.
The walk is once again taking place this Sunday on the grounds of Royal Roads University in Colwood. Although now the group's contribution to that important research is about to hit a target they never considered imaginable 10 years ago.
We will be reaching $190,000.
That money has been raised through various events, garnering donations through the community. It's Jennifer's way of giving back to fight a disease that takes the lives of so many women in our country every year, and very well could have taken hers 21 years ago.
There are things on the horizon now, but all that's due to research, and with that research comes funding, and if we can't fund the research, we're not going to find a solution.
To donate or find out more about Sunday's walk, go to the Ovarian Cancer Canada's Walk for Hope website. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
And breaking news, just like that, the Coquihalla Highway has been closed again, this time because of a semi that caught fire south of Merritt. The good news, northbound is open, though drivers can expect delays. With school back in session, flu season isn't far behind. Vancouver Coastal Health is sharing 5 tips to keep kids healthy as they return to class. Topping the list is maintaining good hygiene through hand washing or bringing sanitizer to school. And with the flu, COVID, and measles all posing risks to kids' health, vaccines are highly recommended. When it comes to youth mental health, one pediatrician says it's important to limit screen time to 2 hours max.
Families are always struggling, and it's tough. So we give this advice, and we really hope that people take it to heart, especially getting enough sleep, getting enough exercise, limiting screen time. Those are really important things for everyone.
He says kids should be eating 3 meals a day and getting exercise through PE class, walking or cycling to school, or extracurricular sports. When it comes to sleep, 9 to 12 hours of sleep per night is the recommendation for kids, while teens need at least 8 hours. A couple's search for a missing pet makes them a target of scammers. Plus, how far would you go to help a baby raccoon? A rescue mission on the Sunshine Coast had a woman jumping into the ocean. Also tonight, May the Force be with him, an iconic piece of movie history sold. But Darth Vader's red lightsaber fetched at auction. Stay with us. Taking a look at today's markets, no change to the Canadian dollar, still trading around 72 cents U.S. Oil finished the day down, trading just under $62 U.S. a barrel. Gold saw a more than $46 jump. On the stock market, the TSX gained 134 points, and the Dow Jones lost 220 points on the day. News for Lego. Master Builders Lego is pausing its custom bricks program in Canada.
All those little tiny pieces are now subject to tariffs, to the point where it's just not worth financially for Lego to run it anymore.
For a small price, Lego enthusiasts had been able to order specific pieces through that program, whether to create something new or to replace a lost item. However, due to tariffs, that option has been paused. A day on the job turned into a unique rescue mission for one server on the Sunshine Coast. Crystal Bacaluk jumped into the ocean to save this baby raccoon last week. It happened near the end of her shift at the Lighthouse Pub in Seashelt. A co-worker approached her in a panic after spotting the drowning animal. That's when Crystal literally jumped into action to scoop up the raccoon and swim it to safety. It has since been taken to Critter Care Wildlife Rescue in Langley, where it's being bottle fed around the clock and is, quote, doing well. Caroline, I don't know if I would jump into the ocean to save a raccoon.
I think you would, Jung.
Maybe she's a stronger swimmer than me.
Well, good on you, Crystal. You saved a life, an adorable little one at that. All right, I have got some good news and some bad news when it comes to the forecast. The good news, the heat warning has dissipated. No areas in the province are under the heat warning. The bad, we still have another day of smoggy weather ahead. Here's the special air quality statement. I'm just going to stand back and let you look. I mean, this is laughable, really. It would have been easier to put in all the places that are not affected, but this is where we are at this time. So the stagnant air mass remains with us for at least another day, plus the uptick of wildfire activity means the special air quality statement will still be in effect for much of the province tomorrow. Now, we have a low pressure system developing right down here from Oregon and Washington State that will bring some showers to the coast, but will it be enough to make the wildfires dissipate? I don't don't think so. Here's a look at tomorrow. Mainly cloudy skies, and yes, another day of this hazy weather. It will be a little bit clearer than today, but still another day of a special air quality statement and a risk of thunderstorms down in the southern interior. But as quickly as that comes, it goes. And as for the North Island tomorrow, Port Hardy, 19 degrees under a mix of sun and cloud. Campbell River, Comox, 23 degrees under mainly sunny skies. Now, the island is the only area really in the province that is not under a special air quality statement, and there's varying degrees of sun and cloud for the South Island. Victoria will hit a high of 20 degrees. Another hazy day for the Sunshine Coast, and sea to sky between 21 and 26 up in Whistler. For the lower mainland, 21 degrees tomorrow, but another smoky, hazy day. Again, it is starting to lighten up. You can even see some blue sky out there, but still another day where we're not going to be 100% in terms of air quality. And with the humidex, it's going to feel closer to 30 degrees. But you can see Sunday, Monday, we get a bit of a reprieve in the form of some showers and much cooler temperatures. So we just have to get through the tomorrow, Mijung, and then we should be good to go. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So it'd be a good time to take an Expedia vacation, but we've got one more day of this weather at this moment.
Yeah,
so.
And it's nice to see the showers in the forecast. We need a little more of that wet stuff.
Normally I get all sad talking about rain, but now I'm like, no, come, we need it, and it is on the way.
And it'll clear the skies.
Love that.
All right, thanks, Caroline.
Thank you.
A warning now from a couple whose search for a missing pet made them the target of scammers. What seemed like the promise of a happy ending gave way to a series of red flags and ultimately led them to call police. CTV's Alexandra Holick has the story.
So the cat just ran outside and hopped over the fence.
It's been 5 days since Sushi the cat ran away from his Guelph Hermosa home.
He managed to get out because the doors got left open.
Like Sushi's fur, the search so far has been spotty.
We've seen him a couple times here and there, but we've always kind of come up short.
Owners Joshua Langdon and Alexa Bromat say they took their search to social media for a better chance at finding their fur baby.
This guy messaged me saying that he found the cat and that and sent me a picture of him as well.
It kind of looked like him, but at the same time, not really.
The message came from an unknown email address demanding a reward of $250. The couple says they were initially convinced Sushi had been found.
We just kind of kept going back and forth messaging, but he was really adamant on wanting a reward. And he was essentially just putting up the cat for ransom, that if we didn't give him money and send him an e-transfer, then we wouldn't be able to get our cat back.
So they weighed their options.
We ended up calling the cops just to find out kind of what we could do.
Upon closer inspection of the photo, it actually appeared it was digitally altered, and then it was totally fake.
They just took the cat's head and just placed it on another cat,
sending Sushi's owners back to square one.
While we were chatting with the cop, actually, he showed up right by the gate. So right when he was there, we just kind of stopped everything trying to go get him. But right when he saw us, he just bolted the other way.
Romat says she's received similar scam messages since.
Out in Grimsby, they said that they saw somebody kick him at a gas station and then wanted us to go meet them at the gas station. Like, you're just preying on people's downfalls. It's not right.
And while the couple continues their search, they offer this advice.
If they're making you try and show up in weird spaces and demanding money and stuff like that, there's a very good chance that that's not real.
If somebody has found your cat or your pet, most likely they're not going to try to get money out of you. They're going to return your pet.
Police say no one has been arrested in this case at this point, but they urge anyone who may be a victim of fraud or a potential scam to reach out or report it to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. Alexandra Holick, CTV News.
Darth Vader's lightsaber has a new home, but it cost someone a lot of cash.
You are unwise to lower your defenses.
The iconic red lightsaber just sold for more than $3.6 million at auction. It was the prop used in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Other items in the auction, the whip used by Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, and Michael Keaton's suit worn in Batman. Canada's largest pickle festival, the Hoagie Half Marathon, and a walk for the kiddies. Your Friday feel-goods are still ahead, plus celebrating a century. Adam finds out what this birthday girl says is the most important thing she's learned about life. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's a preview of CTV Morning Live.
We've seen grocery prices rise, and we're learning about another factor that could influence it. Monday on CTV Morning Live, more on a UBC study on the instability of global crops, how climate change is expected to influence what you can buy at the store, and pausing EV targets in Canada. We'll take a closer look at why the rollout of electric vehicles is under review. We'll see you Monday morning.
News, weather, and traffic. It's everything you need. CTV Morning Live, weekdays 6 to 9.
Well, it's time for Friday Feel Goods, a weekly roundup of unique events happening in Metro Vancouver. Here are 3 things worth checking out.
We are launching the Hoagie Half. We're running, we're eating sandwiches, we're having a party, we're drinking beers.
The inaugural Hoagie Half is happening at Container Brewing this Saturday. Teams of 4 will tackle 21.1 kilometers relay style, but instead of passing a baton, runners have to eat a hoagie procured from one of 4 local shops. The race and a free outdoor party for spectators all kicks off at 2 p.m. Caroline, I don't know about running and eating hoagies, but more power to them.
I'll walk and eat. I will also enjoy this. Canada's largest pickle festival, nice, is coming to Vancouver for the first time this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The City Centre Artist Lodge in Mount Pleasant will transform to a briny paradise. More than 40 vendors will be on site selling pickle creations ranging from beer to ice cream. Sign me up. And the winner of the Show Us Your Pickle, Show Us Your Pickle Home Pickling Contest will be crowned.
And I know you are a huge pickle fan, right, Caroline?
Oh, I am so in. A pickle fest? Are you kidding me?
Pickle ice cream? I don't know. I might pass on that one, though.
I would have to try it. I'm in.
Okay, VOCRA, the Vancouver Orphan Kitten Rescue Association, is holding a fundraiser walk at Jericho Beach this Sunday. To mark its 25th anniversary, VOCRA has set an ambitious goal of raising $250,000 through this year's Walk for the Kitties. Participants will be able to socialize over coffee and baked goods before heading out together on a 5-kilometer walk. There will be a lot of cuteness at Jericho Beach.
Young kittens and pickles. My weekend is set.
Yeah, a weekend of dreams for Caroline.
This is the best day ever.
So if you have any events you'd like us to highlight, email your tips to ctvfeelgoods@ctv.ca. Well, life is full of lessons, and at age 100, one woman on Vancouver Island has learned more than most, but she says the one that stands out above the rest comes down to love. Adam explains in tonight's Sawatsky Sign-Off.
As Hilda Duddridge turns 100, she's looking back on a defining memory from her childhood.
12 years old, I think I was.
To this sculpture Hilda made of her younger self, growing up without anything during the dirty 30s, but wanting for nothing.
And I felt this moment of complete bliss. And I thought, I just loved the whole world. It just wanted to wrap it around me.
2 years later, Hilda had to quit school to take a job at the post office to help support her family.
A government job with a pension.
A year later, the world was at war. She lost friends. Her home was destroyed by a bomb. But Hilda never lost hope.
We all knew we were going to win. Mr. Churchill had told us that.
So Hilda stayed calm and carried on before being swept off her feet by a member of the Canadian Air Force named Lou.
He said, I knew you were the girl I was going to marry.
He proposed a week later. 6 months after that, they both said, "I do."
As long as you love each other, willing to face anything, really.
Hilda had to wait in Wales for Lou to complete his service before the war bride moved to Saskatchewan and the couple started a family in a house with no electricity or water.
But, well, we've coped with enough differences all through the war. You get to know how to cope with problems.
Yeah. And thanks to their resilience and hard work, the couple and their 4 children ended up making countless happy memories together before Lou recently died at 105 after 78 years together.
Yeah, he was a great guy to be married to.
Well, Hilda couldn't be happier to be celebrating a century with her friends and family that's grown to include 6 grandchildren and 7 great-grandchildren. She also couldn't be more grateful for this little girl, who's still a part of her.
I've never forgotten that moment.
Who first taught her what she's learned life is all about, to embrace every moment with love.
Well, the main thing in life is love. There has to be love in your life.
Adam Sawaski, CTV News.
Words of wisdom. I cannot believe she's 100.
No.
She's walking, she's laughing, and she's so sharp. Incredible.
Go Hazel, you love that. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot now. It's a hazy sunrise. Yes, thank you, Keith Borland, for sending this in. Hopefully we won't see much more of this. You want your photo featured? Email us, scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Although it makes for cool photos.
Nice photos. We got that going for us.
And we're following our top story, the double homicide in East Vancouver. Craig Krause will have all of those details, as well as the problems, the latest on the Coquihalla, tonight at 11:30. Thanks for joining us.